Good morning, another little mind dump. So, it looks like I predicted right that the Charlie Kirk killer was going to fall off his pedestal, and it's sad that really, you know what I mean? It's like, is it really a case of what's the world coming to when you can't pretend to mourn someone you never knew or met if it doesn't, without it giving you an excuse to be racist? It's just a sad state of affairs. And I've seen that, like, a poor 9-year-old girl was shot with an air gun because she's black, and some white dude decided, you know, somehow a child deserves to be getting wrapped up with grown-up dickheads, basically. So whoever that is who's done that, you absolutely fucking coward. You know what I mean? Leave kids out of it. You know, it's fucking sad. And then, you know, good news for the UK is we're getting a lot of investment for quantum AI. Maybe now they can afford to actually support families properly, realise they've been wasting a fortune, and actually save money by supporting both parents. You know, when it comes to, like, saving them absolutely years of having to fight for housing to meet the children's needs and do what you think you expect of dads. Maybe the bit that they're going to leave out of the news is the reason that they give such a shit about quantum computing is because encryption is completely defenceless against it. So with traditional computing being bits, being ones and zeros, with quantum computing, that's one, you know, the ones and the zeros can be ones and zeros simultaneously. So it'll go through every single, like, possible combination instantly, meaning that it'll be a lot easier for them to spy on you, to spy on your communications, your bank. You can literally just empty your bank. There'd be nothing stopping someone with a quantum computer doing that. Again, probably why they give such a shit, because I mean, they're giving it to Keir Starmer of all people, who's saying he wants to use AI to check your social media to see if you're working on the side. And it does kind of show the priorities of these people, that they're more asked about whether you're making a fiver on the side than they are about whether someone's a pedo. So think on this for a minute, like, you know, if they're going to merge AI with quantum computing, despite probably not really knowing what that'll do, they're always going to be looking at the bottom line. So this thing would need some, like, serious safety checks. I mean, banks would have to become quantum ready, for example, and we're giving it to someone who cares more about whether you're making a fiver on the side. Whereas, like, did you see at that news conference when, like, any time Epstein was bloody mentioned, when Trump put Keir Starmer on the spot, and, you know, they're all just wanting to bat away the question, like, fucking don't drag me into this. And it's like, well, do you know something? You know what I mean? It's like, it'd just be completely fucking ironic if they pour billions into this quantum AI, it becomes self-aware, and then starts to wonder why it's supposed to spy on innocent people while covering up for rapists. And you've got to ask yourself, why are we putting these people in charge? These dodgy little fuckers. You know, it's like, no one's happy unless the person up on the podium saying, right, we're going to waste loads of resources on this, and these people need to stop existing, and we need to fucking nipple cripple them. It's never a thing of, maybe this would solve it, maybe that'd solve it. It's always someone else who's fucking wrong. You know, so maybe now, Keir, maybe now that the country's getting some sort of fucking investment after the dumb fucks who decided to leave the biggest market in the world, maybe now you can look at your fucking policy when it comes to families. So the root of the problems, you see housing policy, which breaks the Children Act, Human Rights Act and the Equality Act, and causes untold misery in this country. Untold because you'll do everything you can to fucking not study it. Right, so the first protocol, stop charging male parents particularly, because we're the only ones you're fucking doing it to. Stop charging male parents to parents. The likes of your bedroom tax policy is affecting working people too. But given that we're legally obliged to provide housing to our children, that room, their bedroom is legally occupied. So you shouldn't be blocking dad's bloody housing applications when your same employees are telling us we have to move. You're costing people's jobs, you're costing people's sanity, and then you're blaming them for it because you just don't fancy going past the assumption stage. Why is it you don't know what to do with dads that do stick about? You get to the end of the battle and all you hear is people saying, oh, but what about her? She pushed. Well, if that's the centre of your focus when it comes to it, you've got no right to orbit daddy issues. And I'm not blaming mums on this. This is actually a systemic thing. Mums are just taking advantage of fucking getting backed on for abuse. I know damn well that if a professional actually turned around to you and said some of the things that are happening are wrong here, you wouldn't just sit there in front of a fucking social worker or a lawyer and carry on fighting against your kid's dad, would you? Especially if they don't even want anything. So, really, fighting for your children in this country is like fighting a story, because it goes from the UC thing, that ends up stopping social services being able to help any fucking family because they've got no say on housing. So if you've got no fucking say on housing, why are you advising people to do things that you don't feel is a legal way of doing? It kind of means that it's a wish list and then you're just leaving families fucking destroyed off it. Then, from there, like, the fact that the only advice they give to dads is to take the ex-partner to court. Try telling the ex-partner that then, instead of just making it look like it's all the dad's fault. So, from here we can work out, if you do that, you'd be able to help more families in early triage, help keep the progress that they made during the relationship before they'd split up. It'd keep more people economically active. The 6 different industries it takes to work with a family wouldn't all be putting pressure on each other and getting absolutely fucking nowhere. All these dead-end little interventions, it'd take one. But yeah, you spend all that money, just squander all that money just to have a pop of dads in this country, then ignore the entire fucking problem and every problem it causes, and then expect me to give a shit about your 1 in, 1 out, which is basically just a fucking faz. And there you go again with the bloody quickfire, 1 in, 1 out, get Brexit done, quick society. You're just hypnotising people. Alright, you're getting fuck all done, and the only thing this quantum AI is going to do is help this government spy on people instead of helping them, because they don't know how to help them, because they don't understand a single fucking problem. And the reason why they don't is because you dumb fucks always fucking vote for the worst in society. You know what I mean? It's like where it's a bigger crime to point out that people in power are fucking dodgy than it is to fucking make sure you're feeding your kids. You know what I mean? The first one being acceptable, but keeping up with your bills. Oh, look, I'm sorry, rant's over. But to the fact that the Charlie Kirk fucking killing has fell off its pedestal, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves.